Hey everybody, today I'm going to review Metabo's SB18 LTX BL Impuls, which is a half-inch hammer drill driver kit. Specifically, this drill is going to feature a brushless motor, some very unique design features that you normally don't see on any other drills, as well as two high-capacity 5.2 amp hour lithium battery packs. Now when you couple those lithium packs along with the brushless motor, it means you're going to get extreme power and extreme run times out of this. And what we're going to do is really put that to the test. Now the good thing about a hammer drill versus a standard drill driver is the fact that not only will it drill into wood as well as metal, it's also going to do a great job at drilling into concrete or masonry. Now a normal drill driver will still work well in wood as well as metal, but when it comes to concrete, even if you are using a masonry bit, if it doesn't have that hammering action, they're very ineffective. So what I want to do in this video is give you some close-up looks at this. We're going to see exactly how those different modes operate, and then we're going to see how it actually performs. If you pick up one of the kits, what's going to be included is a protective tool case, the drill, a battery charger, two 5.2 amp hour high capacity lithium batteries, a side handle, as well as a belt clip that can be installed on the left or right hand side of the drill. Here's a closer look at the drill, and I do want to point out that the dark green portion you see is going to be a very hard plastic. The black portion is going to be a softer rubber overmold. Now I have the belt clip installed for right-handed use, but if you aren't right-handed and you want it installed on the opposite side, then all you'll need is a 3mm hex key. You can undo that screw and move it over here in just a matter of a couple minutes. Now I also want to point out the battery on this is on a slide rail system. However, you do not press any buttons on the battery in order to get it to release. There's one button back here behind the grip in between the battery and the base of the grip. What you're going to do is press in on that. That's going to release the battery and it's going to pop right off. Now let's say your battery's dead. As soon as you recharge it or you put a fully charged battery on here, you just slide it into place, you'll hear the click, and then the drill is going to be ready to go. On the top of the drill is where you're going to adjust between the different speed or power modes. Speed mode 1 is going to be a lower RPM but higher torque mode. You can achieve up to 797 inch-pounds of torque in this mode, but the drill is going to be limited between 0 and 600 RPMs depending on how hard you press it on the trigger. If you don't need that much torque and you just want higher speeds, you can slide that back to speed or power mode 2, and that's going to be between 0 and 2050 RPMs. Now just in front of that there's a black selector switch. You notice a drill bit on this side, and when we slide it the opposite direction, it looks like a hammer. So when you see the hammer, it's going to be on hammer drill mode, which would be ideal for drilling into rock, masonry, or concrete. And when you flip that over to the drill bit mode, that's what you'll use with wood, metal, or plastics. The drill is also going to feature two different LEDs to light up what you're working on, especially in low light situations. Now those do not have a time delay, and they're going to be activated anytime you pull in on the trigger. So you can barely pull it in without activating the chuck. That's going to light them up, and it would really double as a flashlight. And then anytime the chuck is turning, they're also going to stay lit up. However, once you release it, they're going to immediately cut off. The chuck is going to be a half-inch all-metal ratchet and keyless chuck. And to install a bit in it, you'll just slide it in the end, hold onto the retention ring around the chuck, and then put it in forward and slowly pull in on the trigger. This is going to tighten the jaws in around the bit, and you can see once it stops, you will want to grab onto that ring, rotate it counterclockwise until you hear some clicks. And now that means it's extremely tight and the bit is not going to go anywhere. Whenever you're going to drill a very large hole like you would with this auger bit, maybe drill into masonry or metal, it's a good idea to install the included side handle to give you a lot better control. Now to do that, all you'll need to do is slide it over top of the bit, over top of the chuck, and then it's actually going to lock in around this aluminum retention ring directly in front of the selector switch in between drill mode and hammer drill mode. So you'll just grab onto the handle, move it back and forth until it slides into place. You'll see it lock in, and then all you'll need to do is tighten this up clockwise in order to lock everything down. When you're done, you'll just loosen the handle up counterclockwise. Move it back and forth until it pops off, and then you can store everything back in your case. One of the very unique features about the Metabo is the fact that it does not have a clutch adjustment ring directly behind the chuck like almost all drills do, such as this Makita. Now we can look at this. If you want to adjust the different clutch settings, they do have the ring. You're going to move left to right. It's going to increase or decrease the amount of torque that actually applies to the fastener before the power cuts off from the motor. However, the Metabo does not have that same selector switch. Instead, with the Metabo, you will adjust the power settings using this dial located just above the battery at the base of the grip. Now it will rotate left or right. All the way in one direction you will see a drill bit that's going to override the power settings, applying full power from the motor into the chuck and then into the fastener. But let's say you're dealing with some smaller screws, or maybe even some lag screws that you don't want to overdrive. Then you can rotate that back. It's going to cut the power levels back. And this works almost exactly the same way as an electronic clutch. Once the torque level is reached, you're going to hear a beep and the chuck is automatically going to stop turning. It's not going to continue to turn like it would with some other drills. Now if we rotate this all the way to the beginning, you will notice a special symbol that looks like 3 arrows in a circle, and that's going to be Metabo's unique Impuls mode. To demonstrate the Impuls mode firsthand, I have 2 screws screwed into the 2x6. They're going to be identical in length, however one's still in good condition, the other one is stripped out. Now I stripped this out with another drill before I started this test, and what we're going to do is try both screws with the drill mode. Now the one that is not damaged, it's going to remove really with no problems. When we move over to the damaged fastener, you're going to see how the bit will spin in place and probably will not even move the screw. At that point, we're going to move it over to Impuls mode and see if it can remove it. And here's a closer look at both screws. They're both going to be identical in length, however one is not damaged at all, and the other one is going to be completely rounded out. So to start out, we will be in drill mode and we'll remove the undamaged screw. You can see it'll pop it right out because it didn't have any damage. But if we try the drill mode on the stripped out screw, we're not going to be quite as successful. So rather than try something else to remove this, we'll go ahead and flip this over to Impuls mode simply by rotating that dial and try and remove it using the same exact bit. So there you go. That's how the Impuls mode can remove a completely stripped out screw, where the standard drill mode just would not work. For a wood runtime test, I'll be using a 3/4 inch self-feeding auger bit, along with a fully charged 5.2 amp hour battery pack. We're going to see how many holes we can drill through a standard 2x6 on just one charge. 342 3/4 inch holes through a standard 2x6 on just one charge. Now using a fully charged 5.2 amp hour battery pack and a brand new 1/4 inch bit, we're going to see how many holes we can put through standard hollow block on just one charge. $615 1/4 inch holes through hollow block on just one charge. So now you've seen Metabo's SB18 LTX-BL Impuls Hammer Drill Driver Kit for yourself. And the reason we were able to get such extreme run times is the fact that it does have a brushless motor and then some very high capacity lithium battery packs. Through the 2x6 we got over 300 holes, and then outside to the cinder blocks we were able to get over 600 holes on just one charge. Now you do want to keep in mind this is a hammer drill, which means it's going to work equally well at going through cinder blocks or concrete as it would through wood. And what's going to happen if you get the standard drill driver version of this that does not have that hammering function? It may look the same, however if you do go to drill into concrete or masonry, it's not going to be nearly as effective and you would not get nearly that many holes. So if you ever see yourself drilling into concrete, you do want to spring for the little bit of extra and get the hammer drill version of this. Now in addition to that, this does come with a 3-year warranty as long as you do register it when you buy it, and it is going to be made in Germany. If you like this video, please click like. If you like my channel, please click subscribe. And thanks for watching.